My name is Calliope, daughter of the sky god Zeus, and muse of much renown. Sit here at my perfumed feet as my poem unfolds before you, an epic that springs from the depths of the sea and finds its end upon strange shores. For this is your story, the story of Argonus, son of Argus the shipbuilder and friend to Jason the hero. Our tale begins like many a sailor's story before it, with tragedy and a lilting song that carries from one dark wave to the next. Awaken. Book 1, The Blight. Acastus, the son of King Peleus and a lifelong consort, reaches in vain, his sun-baked flesh now that of ashen stone. This statue, if it could be called thus, is that of Hylas, a man whose hands brought ore to water not but a day ago. 'Tis the faithful Argo, her weathered hull rent, her stalwart crew scattered, dead or lost to the endless sea. A faint melody can be heard as the sea wind blows past her figurehead. A frozen scream is etched upon the face of bewitched Typhus, helmsman of the Argo. Never again shall he foretell the rising of black waves. This owl seems unaware of its preternatural perch, and unconcerned with the plight of a shipwrecked sailor. More than a piece of driftwood, this plank was once surely bound to a mighty ship. This isle is littered with such debris, broken reminders of man's folly. This splintered plank is no doubt a victim of the sharp rocks that encircle this isle. This isle is littered with such debris, broken reminders of man's folly. This wild sheep appears interested in nothing more than the grasses that grow upon this beach. The death that haunts this isle did not spare even a child from its sorcerous wrath. No craftsman could sculpt a child so lifelike, nor create that which now stands lifeless. Abundant with boughs of leaves, this mosaic appears to be made of limestone, and thus surprisingly light. Full leaves, like those found on apple or fig trees, are painstakingly inlaid into this rough piece of limestone. Light glints off this strange carved stone, half buried in the sand. Her planks broken and her floorboards shattered, this skiff offers naught but harbour to small fish. The odd shape of this blue-grey stone gives nary a hint of its purpose. This statue is of Amphitrite, Queen of the Sea. Sadly, the goddess did little to hinder the decimation that litters these rocky shallows. The water that flows from these rocks would keep even the most stalwart from discerning what lies beyond. Cracked and splintered, this wooden plank will serve a vessel no more. This rotten timber is too small to be a yard for the mast. While man may have birthed this massive sculpture from the isle's bedrock, deep waters now embrace it as their own. This statue would appear newly struck, as the salt of the sea has yet to assail its stone. This hound was not spared the fate that befell the other inhabitants of this isle. "'Tis naught but a fisherman's net, set so the west winds can reach its sodden threads." Whether spooked or merely provoked, the stallion launches itself from the cliffside before mighty wings carry it far above the awestruck sailor below. Nearly 200 men high, the massive bronze soldier stands silent, enthralled by the euphonious song rising from below. Though salty mists shroud their form, there is no denying the women upon the rocks. For even from here, the lure of the siren's song is strong. This statue is of Minos, the king of Crete and son of Zeus and Europa. A semblance of Pasiphae, the immortal daughter of the sun god Helios, guards the entrance into this mountain. Massive stone doors are cradled by the sheer cliff face. The bell-shaped flowers of this mandragora are common throughout the Isles of Greece. "'Tis Palamonius, son of Olenane Lernus, whose bodily frame and valour no man could match. While it appears to be chiselled from the same rock, this stone is set apart from the great statue that cradles it. Small ticks, like droplets of water, emanate from within this stone pedestal. The odd shape of this blue-grey stone gives nary a hint of its purpose. The stone drops neatly into the groove, and the great eye slowly moves, revealing a hidden passageway. The lovely purple colour of this flower conceals its poisonous nature. The lovely purple colour of this flower conceals its poisonous nature. An intricate carving of a fish betrays which god inhabits the temple beyond. This woman was no doubt on her way to pay tribute within the temple. Her last moments of horror remain etched upon her face. This carving is assuredly the work of a master craftsman. Ancient tome in hand, this priest was caught unawares and is now made of the same stone as the carved god behind him. While this woman was surely an attendant of the temple, she shall never again set evening lamps alight. Even the pious have not been spared the bewitchment that has befallen this isle. This vase, portraying Poseidon and a merhorse, may have once held water or oil. At the moment, however, it holds neither. The shape of this stone tablet, embellished with detailed illustrations, would indicate that it is incomplete. Colourful tiles create an exquisite depiction of the sea god ruling his realm. Unencumbered by the burdens of man, this mosaic depicts the gods both at war and at rest. Unencumbered by the burdens of man, this mosaic depicts the gods both at war and at rest. girded skeletons, ready for battle, are skillfully represented on this broken tablet. This stone is bereft of markings, offering no explanation for the small depression set into its surface. The yellow light it emits is curious. The lovely purple color of this flower conceals its poisonous nature. Painstakingly carved by the pious, reliefs such as this can be found in any temple from here to Lurcia. Unlike the unearthly statuary that inhabit this isle, this towering statue of Poseidon shows the workmanship of a master sculptor's hand. Unseen hand forces Argonus from his feet and into a dense thicket skirting the stone path. A soothing voice murmurs in his ear as the sailor witnesses the passage of things only spoken of in tall tales, and even then, in whispers. "Be quiet for but a moment," the voice counsels. Once the otherworldly creatures fade from sight, Argonus pulls himself from the dust and gazes skyward. Before him, held aloft, is a handsome woman, replete with glory and power. How many times must fair Athena save one man? The immortal asks, her head tilted with uncommon grace, her eyes soft. Before words can form on Argonus's lips, she continues. "'Tis not a query to be answered so readily, sailor of the Argo. Shadows gather," she says. "There is a blight upon this isle. Have you not seen its handiwork? The flesh of your companions no longer flesh. Their bones, that of the earth." The woman's eyes drop. "I fear my own hand may have set these dire events into motion. For this, I will make amends. But know well, many of your brethren yet live, for I have seen them with my own eyes. Find them, Argonus of Crete, and as I did for your father before you, I shall provide a boat and passage from this isle. You have the word of fair Athena. Not a moment later, the goddess is gone, and breath gladly returns to the sailor's lungs. "'Tis Phalurus of the Ashen Spear. His father, great Argon, shall never again welcome home his prodigal son." The statue is certainly that of the hero, Oileus, peerless in courage and strong in spirit. No doubt struck by the hand of an Argonaut, the head of the Hydra lies lifeless, its flesh still warm to the touch. This isle is littered with such debris, broken reminders of man's folly. Hail strong Erobotes, the son of Iris, skilled in the seer's art of seeing between the mortal coil and the dark veil beyond. Paul Canthus, son of Abas. Never was there a sailor more eager to quest or raise weapons against a common foe. It is said that he was granted an enchanted weapon from Ares himself. Calais was a welcome comrade, and could fashion ships to make trial of the seas with heavy oars. Taenarus has lost a great son in Euphemus. He was the most swift-footed of men, and was wont to skim the swell of endless seas. 'Tis the visage of strong Asterius, son of Hipparasius, who stood 200 men against the Gagenes on the land of the Doliones. If not for its stone plight, this Methosian Hydra is like the one said to have been brought low by Heracles during his 12 labours. This wayfarer's spear is both a formidable weapon and a sailor's crutch. While the tip of this spear may no longer be fit for battle, it may still serve another purpose, albeit one more pedestrian. Full leaves, like those found on apple or fig trees, are painstakingly inlaid into this rough piece of limestone. While the tip of this spear may no longer be fit for battle, it may still serve another purpose, albeit one more pedestrian. While the tip of this spear may no longer be fit for battle, it may still serve another purpose, albeit one more pedestrian. While the tip of this spear may no longer be fit for battle, it may still serve another purpose, albeit one more pedestrian. This child was not struck down by mortal ills, but surely by something that is beyond this world. This young woman, most likely a temple worshipper, seems to have been frozen in time. This grotesque statue is that of Honorable Castor, skilled to guide swift-footed steeds. Finding a trinket such as this upon these shores, let alone within the boughs of this tree, must surely be a portent. Using the broken spear, Argonus plucks the necklace from its roost before laying it about his neck. This necklace is not unlike one that was worn by Peleus, the son of the great sea god himself. Removing the necklace, Argonus holds it before the statue, praying silently that Poseidon recognizes it and grants audience to a weary wayfarer. The great sea god does not disappoint. Within seconds, marble shudders, foundations shake, and the heart of Argonus is quickened. The Lord of all waters speaks.
Who would call upon Poseidon, only to be found wanting of tribute or song?
Poseidon stretches forth his arm.
Where are my consorts and vassals? Look about you. You may seek them, but they will not be found. They have deserted me, forsaken me in this darkest of hours. And who has set loose the scourge that you have borne witness? Athena's puppet, the son of Danae and Zeus himself.
The sea god pauses for a moment, taking measure of the sailor before him.
Yet, even so, my anger is not fit to be laid upon the shoulders of my bondservants, let alone set upon one whose necklace bears my mark. Leave me to my grief and seek me no more. I have opened a way for you. Take it if you wish, or abandon it. It matters little.
The statue of the sea god turns his gaze away from the sailor and speaks no more. Ancient tome in hand. This priest was caught unawares, and is now made of the same stone as the carved god behind him. Small boats, such as this, lie broken upon the sands of this isle. This net has been set out so as to dry in the warm ocean wind. Lord Poseidon spared neither the mighty Argo nor her oarsman Danaus, whose once tanned flesh is now made of the same sharp rocks about him. Having survived the wreck of the Argo, Agamedus, a brave comrade, fell to bewitchment and is now naught but a perch for birds. Here stands strong Coronis, warder of Achalia and friend to all who put o'er to Poseidon's dark waters. Now nothing more than sodden planks, this skiff is a home to small crabs and fish. This statue appears to be under construction. Considering the dire circumstances, it may remain so indefinitely. A small opening, no wider than 2 shields, can be seen in the cliff's face. Of men who would share the toils of his brethren, none compare to fair Asterion. Never again shall this beast of burden pull cart or dray beneath a scorching sun. The blight of which Athena spoke has left a trail of sorrow in its wake. Laden with empty barrels, this wooden cart sits idle, its heavy wheels resting in well-used ruts. The simple robe of this man betrays him as an attendant of some god. Which one, however, is unclear. Uncovered food such as this is sure to draw flies. In contrast to the fine statuary on this isle, this table is poorly constructed. 'Tis naught but a large wooden barrel. Although no fire burns within, this clay stove is still warm to the touch. This creature had nary a chance to escape its petrified fate. Clearly caught unawares, this simply dressed man hinders entrance into or egress from this building. Powered by the large blades, a heavy stone moves slowly within a wide grinder. The great Phidias of Athens himself could not craft a sculpture so lifelike, yet lifeless. The look of horror on this mother's face is a thing to haunt dreams and drive men mad. Neither man nor woman is granted mercy from the scourge that stalks this isle. Neither discarded coins nor any telltale markings can be seen within this fount. The bane of this isle has claimed both the young and the elderly without prejudice. This cart is in fine shape and only in need of an ox or horse. Flint and steel are inadequate to start a fire by themselves. A soft tinder is required to produce the flame. Uncovered food such as this is sure to draw flies. Based on the circumstances, it seems unlikely a family will ever gather around this table again. This sack likely contains grain, or perhaps corn. There is little of interest on this hastily crafted shelf. 'Tis a pouch made of sheepskin, complete with leather drawstring. Tis a pouch made of sheepskin, complete with leather drawstring. Small bits of crushed flowers flake the rounded edge of this pestle. This parchment is inscribed with 3 illustrations of native flora. Next to each is a name and a brief description. Datura, purple trumpet flower. Black nightshade, white flowers with berries. Mandragora, green leaves with red flowers. Near the bottom is a drawing of fire, and within it a single word: sleep. Both the leaves and berries of this black nightshade are dropped unceremoniously into the bowl. The sailor pulls the mandragora from his satchel and places it in the mixing bowl. Without fanfare, the purple flower is added to the mixing bowl. The bowl filled, Argonus crushes the ingredients into a pulpy mix, one that smells faintly of lavender. This simple bowl and accompanying ware are no doubt used for mixing ingredients. Flint and steel are inadequate to start a fire by themselves. 'Tis a pouch made of sheepskin, complete. Argonus takes the newly created mixture and drops it into the small pouch. This small bed looks uncomfortable, even to a lost, weary sailor. Small chairs have been set about this wooden table. while some of this etching is ambiguous and incomplete. A single distinct monstrosity is not. While placing the piece in the proper spot, childhood memories flit through Argonus's mind. The piece of sandstone fits snugly within the hole. Argonus places the tablet onto the wall. With a grunt of satisfaction, Argonus finds the correct spot for the piece of sandstone. Argonus places the tablet onto the wall. Sadly, pleading for one's life will not deter that which relishes in bringing both horror and death. Clothes have been set to dry on this clothesline. Poorly made wooden chairs frame an equally paltry table. Animal skins have been laid across this small wooden bed. A few uninteresting items rest upon this table. This large shelf is stocked with various vases and bowls. the form of a child, still in mid-stride, is no more than a lifeless statue within tall grass. The stone piece appears to fit perfectly into the space on the wall. Argonus sets the piece within the mosaic tapestry. The mosaic, now complete, depicts an epic battle reminiscent of the tales of Jason and the statuy. Tireless winds blow past the form of fair Argon, who was well skilled at inferring from sun and star the stormy winds. Having endured sore afflictions and beached ships, 'tis sad to see Arius, son of Bias and brother of Teleus, in such a state. Zetes, the son of Boreas, shall stand battle-ready for all eternity. Much like her life, this elderly priestess's torch has not only been snuffed, but petrified. This pouch has been filled with a mixture of 3 strange, poisonous ingredients. The eyes of this man appear as if pleading, begging to be released from a stone prison. Whatever prayers of supplication this woman lifted to the gods went unheeded and apparently unanswered. While impressive statues dedicated to the goddess Hera are not uncommon, The dearth of pious attendants is troubling. Provoked by the wandering sailor, the great statue of Hera moves, her unblinking eyes falling upon Argonus. Who are you, Argonus? Historian? Storyteller? Mapmaker? Of these things I have no need. 'Tis a warrior's heart I seek. With that, the goddess turns away and becomes stone once more.